Okay. Yes. So this is the beginning. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So we'll just go through the end-to-end process of the project, deploying a WordPress website on an EC2 instance, basically. So the first thing to do is basically to log in into your Amazon console, Amazon website, and click on EC2 and click on launch instance. So we start from here. Click on launch instance here. So trying to launch an instance, a server, to be able to install WordPress on it. So we have to give it a name, obviously. Then we'll give it a name that suits what we are trying to do, just like an identifier. Just give it a name, basically. You can give it any name, but because you are installing WordPress, I'm giving it WordPress. And then you scroll down. We'll be using Ubuntu OS or AMI Amazon Machine Image for this particular project. So click on Ubuntu, and that will give you a list of different AMIs that can be used. So we have Ubuntu Server 24.04. So like I say every time, go for the lower version because it is more stable. So instead of 24.04, go for 22.04. Yes, can confirm changes just to, yeah, so we have it now 22.04. So instant type, T2 micro is sufficient for what we want to do, and it's under the free tier eligible, as you can see, so you'll not be charged, as well as the 22.04 Ubuntu will pick, it's under free tier eligible as well. So we go to our key pair, can see it's there login, so it shows you that you're using this key to log in. So basically I have one key pair. If you don't have one, create a new key pair from here, but since you have one already, I believe so, then you can just click on the key you have. For me, this is the key I have, and then move to the network setting. Under network setting, basically all you need to have, you can click on edit, just click on edit to get a full overview. Let me create a new security group where you can see everything from end to end. So this is security group name here. I'll give it a name. The name will be what? The name will be WordPress. That's a mistake. Yeah, the name will be WordPress, as you can see. Just WordPress. So let me say WordPress Server. It depends on what you want to do. But if you have an existing security group that has port SSH and port HTTP opened, then you are fine. But just to allow you to see everything, port SSH means secure shell. What does it do? It basically allows you to securely access your server using what? Your private key that have been downloaded in your local computer on the downloads folder by default. So SSH, it operates on port 22, as you can see here, by default, and that is okay. The second security group we'll be adding would be HTTP, and that is because we'll be installing Apache, and Apache operates on port 80 by default. You can see HTTP port 80 by default, as you can see from here. So basically click on anywhere, is open to anywhere. Obviously if you're working on real time, you can't open to anywhere, you either open to custom, but this is just a project that we're just working on, a mini project. So we have our SSH open and our HTTP open, port 80 and port 22. That is enough, that is fine, that is okay for all we need to do. And the last thing is just to our storage. 8 gig is the lowest. If I try to reduce it, you will see there is an error. So 8 is the minimum and it's okay for the project you want to do, so we just go on with that, right? So yeah, let's check from here an high level overview. Ubuntu 2022.04 T2 micro insecurity group, then 8 gig RAM. That's okay, that's fine. So what do? We click on, we launch the EC2 instance basically. Let me disable this. Give me issue. Let me disable this basically. Disable globally. So yeah, you can click on instances here, and then let me try to refresh so that you can see the new instance I just launched. So if you look deeply, you will see that we have WordPress here, which is the instance I just launched. You can see that it's still pending. So basically it takes about, you see, it's already even running. It takes about some seconds to some minutes to run, but since it's T2 micro, it's very small instance, it don't take so much time. So we have it running already. What we need to do now is to access it. How do we access it? We need our public IP address to access it, right? So the first thing we do is we need a SSH client also. Remember? So we have different types of SSH clients. We have our Git Bash, we have mobile XTEM, which I will be using in this particular project, and there are many others, but I prefer mobile XTEM. So for us to access, we need to copy our public IP address right here. So I'll go to my mobile XTEM right away. So I have it opened here already. It's mobile XTEM, and then I would be accessing my server from here. So I'll click on session, click on SSH, and then I will paste my public IP address here, as you can see. Then I will check this box, specify username. So because we are using an Ubuntu server, by default, the username for Ubuntu servers is Ubuntu. So I'll just quickly type that in. But if you are running an instance of Red Hat instance, or let's say Amazon Linux, the default username will be EC2 user. Yeah, just to keep that in mind. So we go on with this Ubuntu user, then you click on advanced SSH setting, then click on private key, so we can be able to upload our private key from our local computer. So you can see my private key here already. So I click on that and I will open. So we have our three credentials up and we have it uploaded already. Then you click on OK, right? So just in a few seconds it will be open. Yeah. So we are inside our server, and as you can see, Ubuntu at this IP address. This is our private IP address. So I like to rename my this is my tab here. I'll just give it a name, WordPress. So that's the name, WordPress. I can just click OK. I can make it fancy and just add a tab color. I like blue, so I put blue. Nothing really big, that's just my preference. So yes, we can now start our installation and configuration now. So to clear my screen, there's a shortcut command. You can just press Ctrl+L. That clears my screen for me. So to give you a better view, I would split my screen. So yeah, here we are. Yes, I'll split my screen, then try to reduce this a bit. I think that should be enough. Yes, that should be okay. So we've gone through this process of launching an Amazon Ubuntu instance. We've done all this. Yes, done all this. So where we are now, we've done all this. We've accessed our instance with our mobile XTEM from here. So we are starting from step 3 now, right away. So step 3 says download Apache, PHP, and MySQL. So the first thing you do by default when you enter into a server is to first update the server. That's the first thing you do, because if you don't do that, there are some packages in the server that may have basically you can run into issues. So the first thing you do when you SSH into a server is to update it, to make it up to date. Basically, that's the best practice. So that is why you have seen, make sure your server is up to date by running this command and click enter. So I will copy the command. Basically what the command is doing is updating and upgrading the server. Basically, that's it. So click enter. I've copied it, I've pasted it and click enter. As that is going on, would be, as we're waiting for that to go to the next command, it says install Apache on Ubuntu. So this is a command to install Apache basically. Let's copy it, then we'll just wait for this to be done. In a few seconds this will be done, and we'll be able to install Apache. Yes. So I would like to chip in one thing very quickly. Don't worry about grabbing everything at once. Just flow with it. Just flow with it basically. If you need to watch it one or twice to be able to understand it more better, feel free to do that, obviously, because practice makes perfect, and repetition is the key to mastery. Yes. So let's just wait for this a bit, and that will be done. Yeah. So that is done. If you see this interface here, this pink interface here, all you need to do is just to click on enter. Sorry. All you need to do is to come to this place and click enter. That is all that you need to do. So we've done that. I like to clear my screen. That's Ctrl+L. So that has been done. And then yeah, let's continue. So the next thing to do is to install Apache, right? So I paste it here and I click enter to install Apache. So as this is installing, we'll come here and it says install PHP runtime and PHP MySQL connector. So what it does is this: PHP is a dependency for WordPress to run. So it means that PHP depends on WordPress. It's a prerequisite, it's a dependency, it depends on it. So if you don't install PHP runtime and you install WordPress, you will run into issues basically. It's just the protocol. So you need to install our PHP runtime, then our PHP MySQL connector. MySQL is a database, and generally is the most common database. It's not the best, but it's the most common, just like Ubuntu is the most common Linux distribution of flavor. So this is a common one, and we need to install a connector to help us be able to connect to the database, which is MySQL. So we just copy this command, copy. We come back to our terminal. When you see this page, like we did earlier, just click on enter, and then the page is gone. So I'll clear my screen, Ctrl+L. Okay, that is done. So the command I copy, I'll just right click to paste it, and you click enter. That will be running again, and we would come here, and number 4 is install MySQL server. So we want to install the MySQL server now, the database that we want to be connecting our WordPress to. We want to install it. Database is just to store data, yes. So I would copy this command and then then come back to my terminal. Just click OK to remove this. Then I clear my screen for me. Then I right click to paste that command, to install MySQL server. So click enter, and that will be installing. So yeah, that will be installing. So the next thing is step 4. As you can see, it says creating and configuring MySQL database. So we want to create now and configure a MySQL database. We just basically installed the server. We need to create a database inside. Yes, you know what I mean. Yes. So we just installed the database. We need to create a database specifically for WordPress inside of it and configure it. So to do that, first we need to log into the MySQL server we just installed, and the command to do that is this command here. As you can see, we are using root. Root here is the default user, so we have to use that to log in first. And root is the user that has the admin privilege, or the super privilege, or you can call it sudo privilege, sudo rights. You can do anything basically. So we need this to start our configuration. So we copy, and this screen is up again. Just click enter to remove the screen, and then click on, I like to clear my screen all the time, Ctrl+L, or just type clear. So yes, paste the command here, and then click enter. You will notice something immediately when I click it. You would leave this Ubuntu at IP address, and we'll enter into the database. Just see that. So can you see what happened now? We entered into the database. So we've not completely left the server, but we've entered into the database basically. That's just it. So the second step here is to change authentication plugin to MySQL native password. Basically, what are we doing? We're trying to just change the root password, basically. So best practice, you put a strong password, but as this is just a mini project, we just go on with any kind of password, just any password basically. I think I made a mistake here. Okay, this is copied, not cut. It's copied. Yes. So right click here. So you can see where we have your password. You have to put your password basically there, and I will do that right away. So I'm editing it now. Your password. So I just put admin at 123 as you can see. Then click enter. So you can see the query is okay. So this command that we are entering the database is called a query. We are querying the database, and when you see this okay, it means that everything worked fine. If there's an error, you will know. You will see an error. You see red basically. That will signify that there's an error. The next thing we will do is to create a new database user for WordPress. So the WordPress we are yet to install, we'll be installing the next step. We want to create a database user for it that will be managing it. We don't want the root just managing. We want to create a new database user. So this is the command we will use: create user. This is the username here. You would basically edit it to your own username and edit the password basically. So I'll copy that and show you that from end to end. So copy and right click to paste. So I will edit my password. I'll give it the same password, nothing so strong. Sorry. Okay, and change the username as well. Username for me will just be admin. You can enter anything you are comfortable with, as far you can remember your username, your password, and your database user. And your database, you can remember it. Without that, you will not be able to log in. So you have to remember that. So I click enter. That is okay as well. So the next thing is to create a database for WordPress, as you can see here. And we'll now do create database. So I'll do copy, right click here. So I can change this database name to let me just change it to admin. You can put anything basically. You're not restricted. Admin. So I use admin also. So like I said, these queries we are entering into the database, we need to know our credentials, like our username, our password, and our database user. So for me not to forget this by any means, I'll just basically find a place to keep all those credentials. For you, if you have your sticky notes there or your notepad, just include that. So you can see I've added my username here, my password. I need to edit this to what I just used now. So you have admin. So just to keep it here, and then we'll return back to where we were. So we are back. The last command we need to run is to grant all privilege on the database to the user you just created, to the database you just created, to the new created user. So basically what we are doing is that this user you created here, for me it was admin. I'm giving this admin user, for me personally, mine was admin, so I'm giving that admin user, I'm granting it all privileges for this database. So it means that he has every right to manage the database. That's what it means basically. So this is a command here, this is a query here. It says grant all privileges on this WP, but obviously you will put your own username, and I will change that now. So that will be my username was admin, if you can remember that, and my database name was also admin. So it says admin dot asterisk. Asterisk in Linux means everything, so it means like the command says grant all, it means all. That's what asterisk means. So I'll click enter, and then there is an issue with that. Okay, can you see the issue with that now? I didn't include my semicolon, so I'm having this issue. I hope you can see that. So what I need to do now is to run the command again and make sure that I have my semicolon at the back, because that's why this I'm getting this input here. So you must be very careful and don't make any mistake. Let me try to exit. Don't try to exit. It's not even working. Let me use Control C. Okay, Control C helped me. So if you come across this issue and you want to come back to your MySQL database, all you need to do is to press Control C, and that's what actually I did just now. No, Control C again. That's a mistake. So let's copy this again. It's good that I'm facing some kind of errors here so that you can see how to resolve them and you also encounter them. So the error I'm facing here now, again, this is the error here. This username you are seeing here is invalid. That's why it's giving this error. So all I would do is this: I would press the arrow key that is facing up, to bring up the last command I executed, and I would edit it to be correct. I didn't create I create admin, not username. That's why the error is coming out. So, and then WP was also admin, not WP for my database. So when I click enter now, you see that everything works fine. So that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. So we are done with the database, querying database. So we just type exit to come out of the database, basically. Type exit. I'm editing this by mistake. So let's just type exit, and that will be fine. So I'll clear my screen again, Control L. Yeah, Control L again. So we are done with step 4. Yeah, glory to God. So step 5 is to download WordPress and configure it. So to download WordPress, all we need to do is just change directory to this temp directory. The full meaning of temp is basically temporary. So it's used to store temporary files, but you can store whatever you want on it. So I click enter, and you can see I'm in /temp now. Let's try to see what is inside /temp. So these are the things that are inside it. Okay, fine. But what we want to do, we want to download WordPress. So copy this command wget with this URL, basically copy and paste. So what wget is a command that is used to download resources, files, archives, just basically resources in general from the internet or across the internet or from the internet, basically. That's the simplest way. So wget is what you use to download resources from the internet over the internet. So that is what this does, basically. And you can see you have the latest here. So by default, it downloads the latest WordPress for you. So click enter, and that will be done. Okay, that's done. So we've installed the archive. So let's do ls to check it out. So you can see something here. It was not here earlier. So it shows you that it's just downloaded its latest star.gz. So this is the archive. We need to unzip it. We need to bring out the files that are inside the archive, because that's what we need. And to do that, unzip the WordPress archive file. This is the command you need to do that. Copy, then paste here. So enter, and you can see it's extracting. It's done already. That was fast. Already extracting everything in that archive file. So I will clear my screen again, Control L. Then if you do ls now to just look at what is inside, you'll see that we have a WordPress directory now. This WordPress was what was extracted from this archive file. And then I will chip in something very quickly now. If I do ll, which means long list, you will see the difference between ls and ll. It means long list. So you can see that it's giving you more details, basically. So if you check If we check this our archive, check this basically this is storage, or this is the amount of storage it is taking. You can see how much it is. For the WordPress now, for instance, is about 4096 MB. Why this is about 24,000 MB? That's a lot. It's taking a lot of space in our server. And best practice is that we don't actually need it. So best practice says that you should remove your archive file so that you can lighten your server and don't just keep unnecessary things in your server and fill up the storage basically. And to do that, I will just run a command. That's sudo. Sudo means admin rights. Okay, sudo rm. Rm means to remove. So rm then hyphen rf. Basically what rf means is to do what? To remove, to forcefully remove everything. Basically to forcefully to remove. So this is used to remove files that have sub files inside of it and sub files that are just clustered together basically. So it will do that. So I can just highlight this and right click and to get copied here, or you can type it. Yeah, so enter, and that is deleted. If I check for you, ls, there is no more archive here, and we've saved our server a lot of space basically. So I would clear my screen again, and sorry. Okay, now basically what we'll be doing now is this. We want to move this WordPress folder to the Apache document root. I would like to explain something here. So if I go to my URL of my server now, I will see Apache. Let's do that very quickly. So I'll copy this public IPv4 address, sorry, and I'll open a new tab and paste it right there. Then click enter. You will see that Apache will be shown to us. You will see that Apache will be shown to us. So this is the default page for Apache. Are you seeing that? So it shows you that it says you should replace this file located at this place if you want to change what is here. So what you are seeing on the screen now is index.html, and the reason why you are seeing it is because it's located in this path of /var/ww/html. If it's not there, you won't see this here. So we want to bring our WordPress. Let me go back there very quickly. Our WordPress is our WordPress folder that we have here already. We check that we have our WordPress here. We want to move it to this document root so that we can be able to access it through the browser. I hope that is clear. So we'll do that very quickly. Copy, then paste it. So that would just enter. It's copied already, and we can verify. So let's verify. I will cd now. CD means change directory to this particular place. I want to check. Let's confirm. Kind of zoom. So we have WordPress here. We have index.html. Can you see that now? So because our WordPress is here, now that means we can be able to access our WordPress through the server, basically. And I will show you that very shortly. So the last thing we need to do is to reload Apache or to restart it. So you can change this command to restart or reload. It's still going to give you the same thing. So let's copy and then we paste it here and we click enter. So while we're reloading Apache, you are reloading it to be able to help to adopt the new changes that we have made. Basically, so Apache can be able to adopt those new changes. So the next thing is to sign into your WordPress website using your HTTP, then your IP address, and /WordPress. So I'll go back to my browser now. So basically, I will leave this here. I will just show you something else very quickly. Let me copy the IP address once again. So I've copied it. Come back here. Now we'll do HTTP colon then // then you paste that IP address, then /WordPress, as you can see, /WordPress. So you click enter. That will take you to the WordPress. As you can see now on our screen, we have WordPress. So it says, welcome to WordPress. Before getting started, you will need to know the following items. These are the things that we created when we were querying our MySQL database. That's why I needed to save them somewhere. And I told you also to do that in your probably your sticky note or notepad. Anyway, you can just keep the credentials so that you don't forget them. So since I have this already, let's go. Click on let's go. And then the next thing we'll do is that we need to now input those details, because those details will help us be able to connect to our database basically. So the name of our database, from what I saved here, is basically admin, then username admin, then password admin123. So you can return back here and just type in that. So we have admin, then username as well also is admin. For you, anything you use is what you'll be inputting into this place. We have admin at 123. Let's try to check that. So that's correct. So the remaining, you can leave this as default, then just click submit, and then that will help us to be able to, yes. So yes, now we are now here now. We are here now. So it says unable to write to wconfig php file. You can create the wconfig php file manually and paste the following text into it. This is a configuration you need to paste into it. This seen here. So what we'll do now, as we have been told, is to go to our file and create this file. We'll go to our server, pardon me, and create this Word file. So we'll copy this, just copy wp to that php, and you copy them. So when you copy, you go back to your browser. I'll return back to the browser now. You're in the browser now. So I would basically do this. So want to create a file. That's what you want to do. You want to create a file. And to create a file, I'll click home. Yes, so you come to the front. You can navigate to the front and click sudo, then do vim. Sudo, like I said earlier, is for super privileged admin privilege basically, and your vim is basically a text editor like what you have in your Windows, which is Notepad. We have VS Code, or text editor on Windows. But on Linux, text editor on Linux is Vim, VI, and Nano. So that's just it. So by default, since we don't have this file in our server, what will happen is this. What would happen is this. This file will be created. Since we don't have it in our server, it will be created. So I'll click enter, and you'll be able to see this is my text editor now. For me to be able to paste anything into it, I need to click alphabet I need to click I, then you can see that it changes to insert. If I click escape, I can't, if I try to type anything, I can't type anything basically. When I click I, then I can insert things inside of it. So I is insert mode, escape, you can't type anything basically. So I will get my information from the server now. All you need to do is just do Ctrl A, Ctrl C. I've done that. Then I will return back here and just right click. Everything will be copied automatically. So to close my server, what you can do is just press the shift key and then double click on the Z key that is beside it. Shift, double click on Z12. That's all. So you've saved it. If you list now, you will see that we have that file there. Can you see that now? You have that file now. So we have that. We've done that. Let's return back to our. So it says after you have done that, run the installation. You've done that already. Then we go. Let's run the installation. Run the installation. So now, basically, we've now come to our website. Now we are trying to. What we are going to be doing now is just to. All you'll be inputting here is not the credentials we used earlier. It's just your preference. For me, I'll show you what I mean. So my site title for me will be Tolani WordPress site now. My username will be promise. So it's not the same thing with what I was using earlier. that was just to authenticate us. We've been authenticated already. Now we can now create our own WordPress now. So this is a strong password here, and by default it's advisable to use a strong password, but for this I'll just go with something very simple. Although it's a weak password actually, but just go with it. It shows me that it's weak, so just confirm that it's a weak password basically. Yeah, just for the main project basically. And you can just put your email here. This is my email. So yeah, that is all from here. You can now install WordPress. You need to remember these two things: your username, your password, and your email. Yes, also. So I know these two promise, and admin 123. So I will install WordPress now. As you can see, I'm installing WordPress. Yeah, so it says WordPress has been installed. Thank you. Enjoy. So we need to log into our WordPress. So when we click login here, we'll go to the admin part of the WordPress basically. Okay. So we want us to authenticate ourselves. You can sit down here, go to Tolani's website. So if I just do right click and open a new tab, this is my website here, but I need to authenticate myself to be able to get the admin part of the website where I can make changes. So my username, I'll just type it in now very quickly. Promise. Yes. And then the password, mine was admin at 123. So click on remember me and then login. That should be fine. So as you can see, we are now in our if you check this URL, you see that we are in IP address, WordPress, WP, and admin. Right? That's where we are. Right. So this is where you can make changes. All of changes. You can come to your media here, and you can basically add a new file. You can come to appearance. Make some changes basically. This is the default website you'll be seeing, like we have here, but you can change it to whatever you like, and even add your own theme. It depends on what you want. So this is like the admin part of it, as you can see, WP admin, WordPress admin. But yeah, this is not what you're interested in for now, so I close that website, and then this is my Tolani WordPress website. So we successfully installed, configured a WordPress site for ourselves. Yeah, so this is it. This is how it looks like. I know you can make changes to it, but this is just the template we have here. So to wrap up everything, you can see that we are accessing WordPress from the IP address /WordPress, but our Apache is still running on just our IP address alone. Can you see that? Yeah. So the last thing here is this, and is optional for you, but we've done this part. Yes, we've gone through this part. Yes, we've gone through this part. Yes, fine. It goes to the part. So this step 8 is the last part, which is optional, but it's wonderful to it's good to actually know it, because it will help your understanding. So to configure WordPress to be able to access it from HTTP my IP address, this is where my Apache is running. I want to be able to access my WordPress from here, rather than just the HTTP IP address /WordPress. So I want to be able to access it from where I'm accessing my Apache. So to be able to do that, right, what we need to do is this. We need to cd into this particular directory here. Just copy and then right click. So let's do ls to see what is inside the place. So we've listed this is what is inside the place, as you can see. Let me try to enlarge a bit. Okay, I think that's better now. So you can see there are two files here. The file we need is this. This is the file we need. This first one is the one we need. So I'll just copy and paste. Then I'll click enter. And I'm inside the file basically. I'm inside the file. Don't freak out. They're just text. Don't freak out. So this is the file we have here. Then all we need to do is just to navigate to this document which you see here. will just come down here. So I'll be clicking my arrow key that is pointing downwards to just navigate downwards, then my side arrow key to come a bit here, or I can click on end to go directly to the end. So what I need to do here now is this. I need to edit this file. As you can see here, this file of slash var slash www slash html, I need to put slash WordPress so I can be able to access my WordPress from just my IP address, which is where I'm accessing my Apache. So let's do that now. So I will click on I to be able to know edit I. I've clicked I, click on so, and just type WordPress. I think that is done. So to be able to save now, we need to just hold on the shift key and double click on Z. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, we need to go back to our escape mode first. We are in start mode now. Just click escape key and then shift double click Z. Then we are out of it. Then the last thing we need to do is just to restart Apache again. And the reason why we are doing it is basically to do what? To make Apache adopt the new changes that we have made, configured already. So that is done, and that runs up this end-to-end process. So what we need to do now is just to access. Let's check it if you can access our WordPress from this same IP address. So I'll just reload and you'll see, boom. So what happens? You can access our WordPress from it. So that means that I've taken it away from this part. So if I reload here, you not see it again. Not found. So I've removed it from this path of slash WordPress to this path of IP address, which is very good, very good, because this is an advanced concept basically, about just like the GPT. When you are trying to connect your IP, because normally I can't give this IP address to my user to access my application. No, I can't. Just imagine that this is an e-commerce website. I can't be giving my user this IP address to access this application. No, that's not user friendly. What I will do is I will create a domain name like let's say tolani.com. So having this alone makes it easier for me to be able to do that. But that's just an advanced concept. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. As far as you got the end-to-end process, you are fine. So I believe that this tutorial has helped you and you understand detailedly how to launch an EC2, how to launch WordPress on an EC2 instance, basically. So this rounds is up and we have come to the end of this tutorial. Yeah, and I believe that if you have any question, just what I would advise is that you pen it down. You can type it down in your, any editor of your choice, or just write it down somewhere, and I'll be able to attend to it when the time comes. So thank you very much, and God bless.